My mother was a very glamorous person, and she always looked after herself, always looked very well, always cared about her appearance. And my overriding memory from a very early age is of nail polish, the smell of nail polish in the house, and how it attracted me. And I genuinely think that that is the reason that I suddenly started exploring these feelings, that it just seemed so beautiful to see her doing her nails. But I definitely remember just feeling that that was me, that should be me doing that.
I looked very feminine as a child, so I always got mistaken as a girl for a little bit. So when I got from about 9 to 11, it came out, very hard because I knew how I felt inside and I just wanted to just be me. You really do kind of really realise at that age that there's something different, and then you know that you kind of have to preserve certain things.
Even, I suppose, as it got to teenage years, again, I felt very different. I felt that, I suppose, while I wouldn't have consciously looked in the mirror and said, that's not me looking back, I would very much have that disconnect with the outside person that people saw me as, the male persona that people saw me as.
When I first came out as trans, I remember being told how to pass. And passing involved changing the way you spoke, changing the way you walked down the street, changing the way you sat, changing the way you crossed your legs. It felt like society was trying to put me in a box because I was trying to get out of a box.
I would have, dated girls, played football, those sort of things, and therefore tried as much as I could to fit in. But it was a struggle, so much of a struggle that eventually, by the time I got to 17, I told my dad that it didn't feel right.
What is female? What is male? It's not a simple binary. It's more a continuum. Nobody is 100% female. Nobody is 100% male. But for my own personal well-being, I do see myself as female. And so if somebody sees me as anything but female, I do get upset.
I'm dad at home, I'm dad in the car, but if I'm out in public, it's Sarah. They do struggle sometimes, even now, 9 years later, with the pronouns. We've had some funny incidences with those, out in public, especially in restaurants. We get usually regular situations where I'm mispronounced by one of them at some point, and then there's usually a giggle. So I don't get really heavily involved in being over correct about it. There are mistakes they make rather than being deliberate about it.
I'm lucky enough in that the person I married back in the mid-1980s has been very accepting. She stuck with me through the transition. We have an absolutely wonderful daughter. It's something that we started talking about pretty much at the beginning of the relationship, but at that stage I didn't really know who I was or where I wanted to go. And because we had our daughter, it made it, it was more important that we stayed together for that. And but now we're living together as, 4 women in the house, because even the cat is female.
My name is something that, because I chose it, it's something really personal to me. I asked my parents if they'd help me choose it, and they weren't at a point where they really could at the time when I was choosing my name. Sam was very much something that, because I chose it myself, it's something that's really important to me.
Jessica always stuck in me as a child, so this name, and it just kind of came naturally. And a little bit of Murder, She Wrote helped me as well.
I suppose my name is defining who I am, but it has always meant something to me for some reason, I don't know. It was a name that I kind of gave myself when I was very, very young. I struggled hard not to call my daughter it, but she didn't get it, so I kept it.
It very much seems now that this is me. Philippa is who I am. It feels it is me deep, deep within. That's who I am.
I think being trans and going through this coming out process and transition process has really opened an awful lot of doors for me. I've made an awful lot of friends. I've found a community that that I feel so comfortable in, and that really accepts me for who I am.
I probably don't identify as trans woman. I identify as a woman with a trans history, and that history is a medical history, but I identify as female. I've always identified as female. I'm me, and that's it. That's all it needs to be.